Okay, now we're going to look at question 2, 3. Yeah. 2 and 3. Okay. Question 2, it says the first, see this. Okay. The first 3 terms of an arithmetic sequence, 4, so it's 4, 13, 22, are given there. So it's arithmetic. So it says write down the fourth term of the sequence. So to write down the fourth, you just need to know what's next. So you just find the differences and then you use that. So 13 minus 4, you get 9. So 9, 22 minus 13, you get 9. So it's 9 here. That means it's always going to be 9. So to get the next term, you just have to add them now. So you just have to say, okay, since I know I'm always adding 9, 22 plus 9, you're going to get 31. That's how you get the 31. So even if you don't show the way you got it, you're still going to get the answer, the mark for the answer. But then to avoid mistakes, just show the process, just do the whole process. 2.2, it says, determine the general term of the sequence, that is Tn. You can write the answer only, and then you're going to get your marks for those. But then what I suggest is the second one, that is you use the formula Tn equals to A of an minus 1 plus n minus 1 of times d, where the A, is the first term, which is 4 in this case, the d is the difference, which is 9 in this case. So difference is this, A is that. Then substitute and you're going to get the same thing. Next one, it says 2.3. Consider the terms of the sequence which are even. Okay, now we have to find more terms. So now you have to look at the even ones. But then let's extend the sequence so that you see. So 4. So you're going to start with 4 plus 9, you're going to get 13 plus 9, 22, so 13, 22, 31. So to see the even ones properly, so I expanded more. After 22, 31, after 31, 40, after 40, I have 49. You can expand it as much as you want for you to see what you want to see. So 58, not 8. So 58, and so on. So the idea now is just look at the even ones in the sequence, and see what they do. So you have 4, it's even. You have 22, it's even. You have 40, it's even. You have 58, it's even. So you create a new sequence using those. So that's why it's 4, that's this one, 22, 40. If you continue, you're going to have 58, and so on. Now that's a new sequence. The sequence is also arithmetic. So the question is asking you to find some of those first 25 that are even. That is, n is 25. So your A is 4. Now let's find the difference. So to find the difference, you just have to subtract them now, the even ones. So 22 minus 4, and I get 18. That's, you don't have to subtract the other ones, but let's just do it. It's 18 as well. So that means the difference is 18. Now you want to find the sum. That's why you have to use that formula. Sum of what? The first 25. So n is 25. So where you see n, you're going to put 25. So there you're going to put 25. And then your A, you have it. Your D, you have it. Substitute. Now you get marks for what here? Get marks for finding the D, the difference. So there's 2 marks according to that. And then correct substitution. You don't have to do this type. Just after substituting, press your calculator, get the final answer, because there's no mark for it anyway. And then here they use this formula. They did the same thing but then they used this formula where L is the last term. So that's why they found Tn first. And then from there they found that the last term is number 49. Wait, no. So let's try to find Tn. So Tn will be an minus 1d. So where you see A and B, you're going to put 4 and 18. Where you see, you know the last time is 25. Where you see N, you put 25, you should find the last time. So yeah, I think here, I'm not sure what we're doing. So, but then where you see N, you put 25, and then you're going to get that T, 25 is going to be 436, and then you take that 436, you're going to put it here. That's what they did. A is still 4, N is still 25. The other one is just doing it manually. So this one is when you're just doing it manually. Next one, 2.4. So it says the original sequence 413. That is, if you look at this one, you're only focusing on the original one. This one. This is what we're dealing with. We're given at the beginning. Now they're saying that, as you can see, it gives 9 there. They're saying that it's the first difference. So this is the first difference of our new sequence. That means this is the second difference. And then you'll see it's common, so it's second common difference. That's what we get when you're dealing with a quadratic. The second common difference. That means you're dealing with a quadratic at the top. So they're saying the first term of that quadratic sequence is -6. That means if you want, you can find the other terms, because now you have the 4. You have the 4. You can just say, okay, -6 plus 4, you're going to get -2. -2 plus 13, you're going to get 11. 11 plus 22, you're going to get 33. So now you have the whole quadratic if you want to write. Now the question will ask you to find the formula. To find the formula, what you just need to remember is this: 2a, 3a plus b, a plus b plus c. You know 2a should be equals to this. 3a plus b, second one, should be equals to the second one there. That is the 4. And then a plus b plus c should be equals to the first one. So even if you didn't find this ones, you're still going to be able to find the formula. Now you start with 2a, divide by 2, you get a. Substitute the a there, where you see a, and then solve for b, get b there. That's another mark. Also, the setup is important, so doing all of this, putting the sequences like that, it's important as well. Okay, so it's a mark, as you can see. And then finding the c, it's another mark. So, and then also putting them together there, you just put them together. Here it's not worth a mark, but then just put them together. They can make it worth a mark. Next is another way of doing it. On this one, I'm going to talk a lot about it. T1 is the first term on the quadratic. D1 is the first difference, the first number. Basically, it's basically what we put when you put, as you can see, 4. It's this 4. And then the other ones, D2 is the second difference, is this one, the common one. And then you substitute and you simplify, but I prefer the first one. This one is when you use more of simultaneous to find them, but again I prefer the first one. Next one, question 3. So question 3.0, they gave you sigma notation, as you can see there. First question, 3.11, write down the values of the first 3 terms. So according to the sigma notation, we're going to start at 4. That means the first term is when we put 4 on P. So you put 4 there. Next one you put 5, you put 6. That's T1, T2, T3. That is, if you write them as 81 minus 243, 729. First 3 terms. Sharp. 3.1.2, write down the value of the constant ratio. So they're not asking you to prove whether it's a geometric. They're asking for the ratio. That means you just have to divide and give them. So to find the R, just take the second one, divided by the first one. So that's minus 243 divided by 81. You should get the -3. Next one, 3.1.3. Does it converge? We know it only converges when R is between -1 and 1. So you have to cram this. You have to put this in your head. So we found that our R is 3. And it only converges when the R is between -1 and 1. 3 is bigger. Not bigger, but it's out of the interval, so it does not converge because of this. Next one, 3.1.4, calculate. Now, they gave us the same sigma notation, but they added an x next to it. So, what does that? So, if you look at it, let me write it again. So, it's actually this one with an x next to it. Let me just write it differently. Come on. So it's this one, but then they put an x here. Yes, small one. They put an x there. That means you still do the same thing, just that there's an x. So if you want to find the first time, you put 4 or UCP, the answer times x. So that means it's going to be 81x. Second one, you put 5, 2 minus 2 for 3x. X. So it's the same sequence, just that now it has x's next to them. That's what we're dealing with here. Now they said to find the sum. Basically, you're finding the sum because this is a sigma, so it's finding sum. So they want the answer to that. To find the answer to that, you expand it. There's expanded, and then you find Sn. To find Sn, you just need to know what type of sequence or series this is. So again, you found R. You saw it's geometric. So that means you need to find R and then you have A. So to find R, you divide them. If you say this divided by this, the same thing as this one. You're still going to get negative 3. So for here, our R is still going to be negative 3. Our A, our first term is 81x. So it's 81x. And then, since it's geometric, there's your formula. Just use that formula, substitute everything. Now, the problem now is, you have the A, you have the R, the N. With sigma, to find N, you just have to take this minus this plus 1. It's a formula. It says top minus bottom plus 1. If you want to find how many times you're summing, you're adding. So 21 minus 4 plus 1, you're going to get 18. That means N is 18. That's why here it's 18. Then you substitute everything. There, substitute the R. If you want to use the other one, the same thing. R is still there. The N is still the 18. A is 1x. Now, your answer will have an x there. Now, to find the final answer, avoid this x, press everything on your calculator, put an x to the answer. Press it like this. Press this whole thing. Since it's multiplication, it doesn't matter if you exclude the x. So, press everything, and then after that, put the x next to it. You'll get that same answer. 3.2. 3.2, they gave you a sequence in terms of x. So they said 6 minus x. Let me just use a different color. It's okay. So they gave you 6 minus x, and then 5, and then square root of 4 x plus 12. Now, they told you it's an arithmetic sequence. That means it has a common difference. So to find a common difference, to find x, you use that fact that it has a common difference. So you're going to say this minus this minus this, and you create the answers. So in this case, first one is going to be 5 minus, in bracket, 6 minus x. That's what's going to be here. And for the second one, square root of 4x plus 12. Remember, it's always the second one minus the first one. Third one minus the second one. And so on. Anyway, for the second difference, you're going to say square root of that minus 5. And then it's going to be here. Now, the two answers have to be the same because it's arithmetic. It has to have a common difference. That's why you have this first step. It's this is equal to this. Then you solve for x. Multiply the negative inside, and then simplify and end up with that. Move the 5 to the other side, you're going to end up with that. Apply square root on both sides, 2 brackets, end up with that. The side square root is gone. Move things to one side, you have that. You can use x equals minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a to get your answers. You'll see that you're going to get 2 negative 2's. 3.2.2 for 3.2.2, now you've solved for your x. Again, even if you're not sure with the x that you got, you just use it to get the sequence. So you go to the sequence that they gave you. So remember they gave you this. With that, now you have the x, so you can just put the x. So you put the x there. So you put -2 there, you put -2 there. Term 2 you already know it's 5. So put -2, you get term 1 is 8, 5, second term, in the square root, simplify, get 2. So now they are saying, okay, if you have, give us the 10th term, that is, find Tn, then tell us what the term number 10 is. So it's arithmetic. So you just have to find difference, you'll see, you'll find that it's -3, then your A is 8, and then now you know term number 10, you want term number 10, so N is 10, that's why there, substitute all of them, you're gonna get that term number 10 is -19. I'll stop there for question 2 and 3, and then next one will be question 4. Sharp.